Hi, I'm Matt from Tubby Tarot. Welcome back to my channel. Where do you read tarot cards? Do you read outside? Do you read inside? Whereabouts do you read? I'm asking you that question. Hi and welcome back. Where do you read tarot? Where can you read tarot and where should you perhaps not do a tarot reading? And this is an interesting question because it's something I have only recently kind of thought about. I've touched on the whole cultural thing about being culturally aware. So you know that one has to be culturally aware. You can't just whip your cards out anywhere. But what about reading outside? Now, I love doing readings outside. There's only one small problem, and that is I don't find making videos outside very conducive. For the simple fact is that the sound quality, I do all of this on my phone, so the sound quality is really crap. You get every single bird and every single breath of fresh air and every single breath of wind comes across the phone mic like it sounds like a herd of elephants running across the screen. So I don't do a lot of videos outside, but I do read outside, which is really nice. I have a beautiful table, and maybe one of these days I'll take you out there and I'll show you around. But I have a lovely table outside and it's got a beautiful view, and I look out over the view from my house is spectacular. I look out over rolling hills and I look out over a lot of houses, and it's just gorgeous. I look as far as the eye can see. It's beautiful. And so I do tend to read outside, not for clients, but for myself, and also when I'm feeling a bit low and I want to take my cards out and just look at the pictures. It's a nice place to go and sit. In my videos where I do card reviews, deck reviews, you'll notice that I always say this is high gloss, so it's not conducive to reading outside. A lot of people have got hold of me and said to me, well, not a lot of people, but some people have asked me, do you read outside with your cards? Why is this even relevant? Why is this even a thing that you mention? And yes, people do read outside with cards. Lots of people. People carry their cards around in their bag, and they would pull their cards out if they're at a picnic or if they're sitting in a park, or this happens a lot overseas, I think, more so than here in my country. But there are definitely a lot of people out there who read outdoors. That's not a problem. We're putting the whole cultural thing aside, and just reading outdoors, I find that the energies are completely different. You're outside, you're in Mother Nature, you've got this amazing natural energy, you are on the actual ground, the soil, the earth, the grass. You are much more grounded, and it's just a whole different thing. It's a whole different feeling and a whole different energy vibe to reading. So if you don't read outside, or if you've never read outside, pop outside. If you live in a house, go into your garden. If you live in an apartment, go to your nearest park, or just go downstairs and sit by the washing lines, and just read outside. Even if it's just a quick 3-card draw for yourself, it's amazing. The other place that a lot of people read is in coffee shops. In fact, one of the Instagram people that I follow is called Tarot Cards in Coffee Shops, and it's a lovely Instagram. Go and check it out. And people love doing this. Now, in South Africa, we are just starting to get what is known as a coffee culture, where people are sitting in coffee shops for the day, plugging in their laptops, doing their work from that. We recently got Starbucks we only got Starbucks about maybe 2 years ago. So we are now coming to embrace this amazing coffee culture that has been around, first of all, in Europe for decades, and America for years and years and years, where people just go and sit in a coffee shop. And yes, it's fantastic. I've seen people actually do readings in coffee shops. People get together. They can't get together at someone's house because they're from all over the show. They'll get together in a mall. They'll go to a coffee shop. Somebody will have a pack of cards, and it's great fun. It's great fun. You order your coffee, have maybe a slice of cheesecake. I can't drink coffee without cheesecake when I go out. So you get your pals together and you all go to the coffee shop. So if you are on your own, you can maybe do a 3-card or a 5-card spread or a 7-card spread if you're brave. If you're sitting there, a lot of people go to a coffee shop and they just read a book. If you're waiting for people to arrive, you can pull out your cards and have a little game. So that's another place that you can read. Another place that you can read is on the bus. You can read on the bus. You can read on the tube station. We don't have those things here in South Africa. We have buses, but we don't have any underground railroads at all. You can read on the metro. If you catch a train, if you are in South Africa, you can read on the train. If you are going on a long journey, take your cards with you. If you are in the car, you got the kids with you, make a game of it. Let them choose a card and let the kids actually get you to choose a card and let them interpret the card. That's a really cool way of keeping the kids occupied if you're on a long journey, on a bit of a road trip. Okay, so that's another place that you can read your tarot cards. All right. There are so many wonderful places if you really think about it. Take the cards to the beach. If you and your mates are going to the beach, or you and your family, take the cards with you. And again, adapt the reading or adapt the cards. Use the cards as more of a game than an actual reading. However, having said this, a lot of people don't like to take their cards outside. They say that the cards get damaged. A lot of them, especially if they take them to the beach or if they're taking them on a picnic, the cards can get dirty, the cards can get sandy. A lot of people say if you read outside too much with the cards, especially if you only have one deck or two decks, the cards fade really badly. That I've actually picked up as well with some of my cards. And then a lot of people say that it's an easy way to lose your cards, especially if you're at the beach with your kids or you're at a picnic with the kids and you've got friends and everything's happening and things could go missing. Okay. I get that, I understand that, but I still think that you should go outside and try and read. Read at the beach, read in the coffee shops, read wherever. Obviously, the other place that you can read is in your reading room. If you have a reading room, you can read at home at the kitchen table, but the ideal place would be in your reading room where you have created a vortex of energy. If you are blessed like I am, truly blessed, with a whole room to yourself. Although, now that it's lockdown, my fiance has commandeered my reading room, the room that I'm sitting in now, has been commandeered and converted into an office because they are all working remotely. So my dear reading room has been converted into an office. I don't have a problem with that. But that would be the ideal place to read. Please comment down below. You know, I love comments. Let me know where you have done readings, the weirdest place you've done readings. I think one of the weirdest places that I've done a reading is in a cemetery. It's another place you can actually go and do readings. It's a bit more serious stuff there though. But let me know down below, pop a comment, and share with us your amazing reading experience and where it was. You know who I am. I'm Matt from Tubby Tarot, and I will see you on the flip side.